We are drowning, but not in water. We are drowning in information. Our minds are like a house, with every door and every window forced wide open, while a Category 5 hurricane of data, opinion, gossip, and outrage rages outside. We are buffeted relentlessly by the noise of a billion voices, all demanding our most valuable and most finite resource, our attention. We are, in this modern age, information rich, but wisdom poor. We scroll through endless feeds, feeling informed, yet we are more anxious, more polarized, and more exhausted than ever. We have become passive reactors instead of active thinkers. This endless deluge is not just stressful. It is a strategic failure. It is decision fatigue. It is the colonization of our mental space. We have lost the ability to distinguish the signal from the noise. We need a filter. We need a system to protect our minds. The greatest filter ever designed was not created in Silicon Valley. It doesn't run on code, and it doesn't require a subscription. It was designed in the dusty streets of ancient Athens 2,500 years ago. It is a mental model, so simple, yet so powerful that it can destroy modern information overload. It is the timeless strategy of Socrates' 3 Sieves. But this ancient tool isn't just about filtering out bad information. It's a system for finding what is essential. It's not a shield against the world. It's a blueprint for building a stronger mind. So, what is this system? And how can a simple, ancient anecdote become our most powerful weapon in the war for our own attention? To find the answer, we must first travel back. Picture the bustling agora of ancient Athens. It is not the clean, white marble ruin we see today. It is a chaotic, loud, and vibrant marketplace of goods, and, more importantly, of ideas. And in this marketplace, there is one man who stands apart, Socrates. We must not picture him as a dusty statue. We must picture him as he was, a disruptive public thinker, a man who did not lecture, but questioned, a man who was, to the powerful, deeply annoying and deeply dangerous. He was a system breaker. The story, as passed down by tradition, is simple. One day, an acquaintance runs up to Socrates, his eyes wide with excitement and malice. "Socrates," he says, "have you heard the latest news about your friend? I must tell you." He is bursting with the information. He is ready to download the data. But before he can speak another word, Socrates raises a hand and stops him cold. "Hold on a moment," Socrates says, his voice calm and analytical. "Before you tell me this news, I would like you to perform a small test. It is the test of the 3 sieves." The man, confused, agrees. Socrates continues. "The first sieve is the sieve of truth. Have you, yourself, taken the time to determine with absolute certainty that what you are about to tell me is true?" The man hesitates. "Well, no," he admits. I just heard it from someone else." "I see," Socrates replies, his gaze unwavering. "So you do not know if it is, in fact, true. Let us move to the second sieve, the sieve of goodness. What you are about to tell me, is it something good? Is it constructive? Is it something positive about my friend?" The man's face darkens. "Good? Oh, no, quite the opposite actually. So," Socrates summarizes, "you are about to tell me something bad about my friend that you do not know is true. Let us try the third sieve, the sieve of usefulness. What you are about to tell me, is it useful? Will this information be useful to me? Will it help me? Will it change an action I must take?" The man, now deeply uncomfortable, shrugs. I don't suppose it's useful at all, no." Socrates nods, a quiet finality in his expression. "Then here's my conclusion," he says. "If what you are about to tell me is neither true, nor good, nor useful, then why tell it to me, or to anyone at all?" The man is left standing in silence. The information, the data, the gossip, dies right there. It finds no host. It is not passed on. This was not just Socrates being difficult. It was a public demonstration of intellectual integrity. It was the act of a man guarding the gates of his own mind. This encounter is not a dusty fable. It is a diagnostic tool for the modern age. Let us excavate each sieve one by one. The first sieve is the most difficult and the most essential. Is it true? In the ancient context, this was the filter of epistemology, the study of how we know what we know. This was Socrates' entire life's work. His famous proclamation, "I know that I know nothing," was not an admission of ignorance. It was a declaration of intellectual rigor. It was his way of saying, I will not accept assumptions. I will question everything. This sieve for us is the fact-checker sieve. It is the filter of diligence. But in our post-truth world, this sieve is almost completely broken. We are no longer in an information economy. We are in an emotion economy. We do not ask, is this true? We ask, does this feel true? We are bombarded by information designed to bypass this filter. Clickbait headlines, rage bait articles, deep fake videos. They are all engineered to provoke an emotional reaction before our critical mind can engage. We suffer from a profound confirmation bias. We don't seek information. We seek affirmation. We look for data that confirms the worldview we already hold. And the speed of social media makes this worse. An algorithm doesn't care about truth. It cares about engagement. A lie that travels around the world in 10 seconds will always win against a truth that takes 10 minutes to verify. So, how do we apply this sieve? Socrates' standard, absolute certainty, is impossible in our complex world. We cannot ourselves verify every single fact. But the spirit of the sieve is not about finding absolute truth. It is about diligent effort before you share that article, before you internalize that headline, before you form an opinion. Have you made a good faith effort to verify it? Have you read past the headline? Have you looked at the source? Have you considered that you might be looking at a fragment of a story engineered to make you angry? If you have not done the work to verify it, you do not own that information. And if you do not own it, you have no right to share it. This first sieve is the hard, thankless work of critical thinking. It is the act of being an intellectual adult in a world that profits from our intellectual infancy. But what if something is true? What if you have verified it? What if you have the receipt, the data, the proof? Does that automatically make it worth saying? A hard truth can also be a weapon. A fact can be used to destroy. This brings us to the second, more profound filter. The second sieve is the sieve of goodness, the sieve of intention. In the ancient context, this was the filter of ethics, of arete, or virtue. Socrates is asking a question that is almost entirely absent from our modern discourse. What is the motive behind sharing this information? Is the intent constructive or is it destructive? This is the gossip and doom scrolling filter. A piece of information can be 100% true and 100% toxic. The vast majority of gossip is based in fact. Did you hear that so-and-so's marriage is failing? This might be true, but why are you sharing it? This sieve forces us to check our own shadow. Are we sharing this information to genuinely inform someone who needs to know? Or are we sharing it to harm someone's reputation? Are we sharing it to vent our own outrage? Are we sharing it to feel superior? A phenomenon we now call virtue signaling? Are we sharing it simply because the misery of others makes us feel, for a fleeting moment, better about our own lives? This filter is the guardian of our relationships and our own integrity. In our personal lives, this sieve stops the spread of malicious truths, information that is factual but serves no purpose other than to tear someone down. It's the difference between speaking truth to power and simply speaking truth to wound. In our digital lives, this sieve is a powerful antidote to the addiction of doom scrolling. The news is full of facts. Facts about war, famine, crime, and disaster. It is all true. But consuming 8 hours of it, is it good? Is it good for your mental health? Is it good for your soul? Does it empower you to act? Or does it simply marinate you in a stew of performative outrage and hopeless anxiety? The Sieve of Goodness asks us to be the gatekeeper of our own peace. It asks if the information we consume and the information we spread contributes to the world we want to live in, or simply documents the one we fear. It is the filter of our character. So the information is true, we verified it, and our intent is good. We're not spreading gossip. We're not doom scrolling. Surely now it's worth saying. Socrates, in his ruthless pursuit of the essential, applies one final ruthless test, a test of pure pragmatism. The third sieve is the sieve of usefulness, the sieve of utility. This is the signal versus noise filter. This is the filter that, if applied correctly, will delete 99% of your digital diet and 92% of your daily conversations. In the ancient context, this was the filter of pragmatism. Socrates was not just an idealist. He was a practical man. He believed knowledge was only valuable if it led to a better action and thus a better life. Knowledge for its own sake was clutter. The third sieve asked a devastatingly simple question. Will this information change my actions? Will it help the person I'm telling? Will it contribute to a solution? Or is it just mental clutter? This is the filter of focus. Think about your average corporate workday. You are buried in an avalanche of information that is both true and good, but utterly useless to you. Consider the CC email chain. You are copied on a 40-message email thread about a project you are not involved in. Is the information true? Yes. Is the intent good? Yes. They are just keeping everyone in the loop. Is it useful? No. It is noise. It is a distraction. It is a thief, stealing your focus and your cognitive bandwidth. Every moment you spend reading that email is a moment you are not spending on the essential work. A mind that cannot apply the third sieve is a mind that is constantly busy, but never productive. This filter is the great protector of your attention. When you are scrolling social media, is it true? Maybe. Is it good? Sometimes. Is it useful? Is knowing what a stranger had for breakfast useful to your life's purpose? Is a 30-second video of a dancing cat useful to your goals? The sieve of usefulness is not a moral judgment. It is a strategic one. It is the ruthless prioritization of the essential. It asks, does this matter right now to me for my mission? If the answer is no, you must have the discipline to let it go. Truth, goodness, usefulness. 3 simple questions. But when combined, they form an unbreakable mental operating system. And when we look at our modern world through this system, we realize something terrifying. The modern information economy, our entire digital world, is designed from the ground up to bypass all 3 sieves. It is an engine that runs on the failure of our critical thinking. Think about it. The algorithm of outrage explicitly bypasses the sieve of goodness. The algorithm of clickbait explicitly bypasses the sieve of truth. And the algorithm of distraction explicitly bypasses the sieve of usefulness. We are living inside a machine that is actively trying to make us fail the Socrates test. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because that is how it makes money. And this is where we find the final hindsight lore. Socrates 3 Sieves are not a tool of censorship. They are a tool of liberation. This isn't about filtering the world. You cannot control the hurricane of information. It is about filtering your mind. You can and you must control the doors and windows. Applying the sieves is not a passive act. It is a modern act of rebellion. It is the declaration that your mind is not a public space to be littered with anyone's data. It is the declaration that your attention is your most valuable asset, and it is not for sale to the highest bidder. It is the declaration that your emotional and intellectual energy will be invested only in that which is true, good, and useful. The word philosophy means love of wisdom. The story of Socrates, the myth of the Three Sieves, is not just a story about wisdom. It is wisdom. It is the timeless strategy for protecting your focus, your integrity, and your peace of mind in an age designed to steal all three. So before you click, before you share, before you speak, before you let any piece of information pass the threshold of your mind,